Ring of Honor Wrestling from February the 2nd, 2013 is the episode that I'm going to be reviewing here. Pretty interesting episode. Opening match is another match in the Top Prospect Tournament. Antonio Thomas against Darius Thomas. Truth Martini joining Kevin Kelly and Caleb Seltzer for commentary. And Truth Martini throughout the match, he's like, I know who the winner will be. It will be Thomas. And throughout the match, Kelly and Seltzer are like, let's not even tell him. But this was an okay match. Thomas has the advantage for the first, I'd say about 3-4 minutes of the match. But Darius Thomas would come back. A good back and forth here for about the last 2-3 minutes of the match. But it ends with Darius Thomas hitting a roundhouse kick on Antonio Thomas to get the 3 count and the victory. Darius moves forward in this Top Prospect Tournament. He is going to face QT Marshall in the semifinals. After that, Mike Mondo joins the commentary booth before the next contest, and they give a nice profile on Grizzly Redwood, the littlest lumberjack who, if you've never heard his story on the Art of Wrestling podcast with Cole Cabana, it's definitely worth a listen to. Basically, Grizzly's been fighting his entire life, was born premature, and, to get to where he's been. So the match at hand is Grizzly Redwood against Roderick Strong. And this is a good match. I mean, Grizzly Redwood gets some offense in, many times almost gets a 3 count victory. And Mondo, he's cheering on Redwood, from commentary position. And it's like, come on, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. And there really were a couple of times where it looked like Redwood was going to win the match. But unfortunately, Roderick Strong was a bit too much. And he locked in the stronghold at the end. It almost looked like he bent Redwood in half. Redwood tapped out, got the win. He wouldn't let go until Michael Elgin ran in to make the save. And Elgin pulled Redwood up. And Redwood got a standing ovation from the crowd in Baltimore, which he really deserved. That was his best match that I have seen up to this point for Grizzly Redwood. So Michael Elgin stays in the ring because his match is next. And he goes up against the Prodigy Mike Bennett with Bob Evans and Maria Kanellis at ringside. This was an interesting match. Evans got involved a little bit, especially in the beginning of the match. Bennett took control for a while, hit a TKO on Elgin, hit a second rope box office smash on Elgin, but just couldn't get the 3 count. Maria got involved once in this bout. But in the end, Michael Elgin was just too much. He hit the buckle bomb first and then the Elgin bomb onto Bennett to get the 3 count and the victory. Elgin looked good in it. Bennett looked good too as well. And for those that have watched my videos in the past, I've said Bennett really needs to work a little bit, but he looked good in this match, although the end where the power bomb, it just didn't look like he could be able to get himself up, but he looked good in this match. I have no complaints whatsoever, but Michael Elgin got the win. Then we go into Inside ROH, where Kevin Kelly recapped how Jay Lethal got his opportunity at the Ring of Honor World title. A small video package of Lethal saying to Nigel, give me another shot, and then from the last episode where he finally convinces Kevin Steen to give him a title shot. And then we have a brief interview with BJ Whitmer after his television title match last week, saying how he hasn't been 100% since 2001, and that as long as he's walking and as long as he's breathing, he's going to continue to wrestle. And he kicks the cameraman out. So now we go to the featured match. It is a 4-team gauntlet match with the winning team to receive the next title shot at the Briscoes in the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles. So the first two teams out are the American Wolves and the Bravado Brothers. Now, Outlaw Charlie Haas joins Kelly and Seltzer throughout the match on commentary, and he's, doing his Stone Cold gimmick where it's a crime that wrestling's greatest tag team ain't in this. This should have been delayed weeks, months ahead because Shelton Benjamin isn't 100%. And it just goes on with that. It was pretty good. So the Wolves and the Bravados start off. This was mostly the American Wolves dominating the Bravados, but the Bravados did get a little bit of offense in. But at the end, Davey Richards locked in the ankle lock, and I believe it was Lancelot that was forced to tap out. Bravados are eliminated. Next team coming out, Steve Corino and Jimmy Jacobs of Scum. This was a quick match. The ending of the match, Corino gives Edwards a low blow, and then as he thought that he had him, Edwards comes up with the crucifix pin, 1, 2, 3. The Wolves advance, but after that, Jimmy Jacobs hits the Ace Crusher on Edwards, and Corino hits Richards with a handful of coins to knock him out. And then the last team to come out, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. This was a good ending to this entire gauntlet match. Very good. Both teams really, kicking and, hitting their best moves. But at the end, it was Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly who really had this one match. The Wolves had 3 matches, including this one, to go through. And it was just too much for the Wolves to come back. Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly win the gauntlet, win the next shot at the Ring of Honor Tag Team titles, which already have been announced for the 11th anniversary show in Chicago. On the next time around on Ring of Honor, a huge 8-man tag team match. Caprice Coleman, Cedric Alexander, and the Briscoes against all 4 members of Scum, Steve Corino, Jimmy Jacobs, Rhino, and Kevin Steen. This was a good episode. The best match was the gauntlet match, especially the Wolves against Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. Roderick Strong and Grizzly Redwood ended up being a better match than I thought it would. Very good performance by Grizzly Redwood. The Top Prospect Tournament is still going on. A good match with the 2 Thomases. And the last match, I believe, of the first round is Matt Taven against ACH, which should be a very good match. And Elgin and Bennett, 2 of the young studs of Ring of Honor. I got a feeling if I had to pick either one of them that I would think will end up with the World Championship at some point. I got a feeling it's going to be Elgin, but it really wouldn't surprise me if Bennett ended up winning a title at some point in Ring of Honor in 2013. That is, if both men are still in Ring of Honor by the end of that year, or by the end of this year. But right now, just a good performance all around. This was another good episode this week, and I really can't wait to see this 8-man tag match. It's going to be next week. It just looks like it's going to be a straight-up fight, and I can't wait for the next episode of Ring of Honor Wrestling.